But the truth is that you cannot create anything of value without both self-doubt and self-belief. Without self-doubt, you become complacent. Without self-belief, you cannot succeed. You need both. I want to share a line from a lovely poem by Mary Oliver. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination. When you fall into the funk of competition, think of literature. Think of the early bloomers and the late bloomers. Think of the many experimental novels that do not follow the traditional form. Your story does not have to have a traditional arc.
International vibes.
Vibes right here on Echo FM 100.7. Clara, what's making you laugh? What's amusing you?
Oh my God.
She's actually at the back of her mom, but you can visibly see her holding the machine, the Okada. She know one year story.
Don't stop, don't talk.
Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for your company. Welcome to today's edition of She Matters, a program for the female gender, not just the female gender. Here as well, we get to talk about issues that affect the girl children as well, and even children in general, because they are quite vulnerable to a lot of things. My name, as always, is Mary Omeniwo. They call me the Slim Diva. You're most adorable.
You won't man again to Nasala Trinity, Lulu to Numeri, Ejimaka no for Massimia Gazicharuno. I'm born that Clara Moko Chawan is in Boga. Messing de Crefe Massia Gazicharon and they were.
And Marv King. I don't understand this your swag. Your swag this morning is giving me a lot of vibes. What's going on? Today is Friday. You cannot wait. Okay, now I understand. Marv King is on the deck this morning, and trust me, it's going to be an entertaining time on radio from now till almost 12 noon today. Okay, so before we go ahead to unleash the topic for today, I stumbled on some, trending gist, and as usual, I would like to drop them so you understand what's going on in the world as well. Now, I saw a story of a 22-year-old lady, female pilot trainee, who was attached to an instructor. Okay. And then she was asked to go for a flight training. An instructor was, also teaching her what to do. And then midway into the flight, all of a sudden, according to this 22-year-old pilot, she said the man or the instructor simply told her to sit straight, look ahead of her, and keep moving forward.
Okay.
He then turned to his bag, packed his headset, and boom, opened up the door of the helicopter or whatever it is, and jumped out. And left her.
And
left her, and she was visibly distressed.
Hey.
However, she tried her best. She was able to, stay stable enough. Contacted the tower, and she was able to land the plane safely.
Hey.
If you were in that situation, what would you have done?
Maka na bia onye gakwa na abịakwa no
Oh my
n'elu.
God.
Hey.
Okay, so she said she initially thought he was wearing a parachute,
Huh.
you know, only for her to discover later on when she had reported the case and there was a manhunt and a search for that man. And then they discovered that he actually was not wearing any parachute. He just jumped all by himself.
Huna.
Yes, and later on it was discovered that he was having some mental health struggles. Now you understand it.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ama shi onwere ihe ọṅụrụ. Akwa ịhụ na ya.
Oh,
Okay.
Mafkin, you have to take Clara on a ride and abandon her midway. Let's see how it's going to go.
Hey. Hey.
Okay, and then another trending on a ride. You take her on a ride. Another trending story is a post. I don't know if you saw this one, Clara, where a popular chef by name Ada put up a post and says, on no account should you allow your man or your partner
Okay.
or your spouse or your husband serve himself soup. And then she went on to say that any day she cooks soup, you know, or one of those meals that her partner really likes, she makes sure she's the person who will serve it. Because if she mistakenly falls asleep from being tired and the man gets to serve the soup himself, God help that pot.
Ah.
You understand this?
Ogwusiwo. Ogwusi.
Now she said the chicken, the beef, the goat meat, assorted,
Niile.
everything will mysteriously disappear.
Wow.
Can you relate, ladies?
Uh-uh.
Ladies who are listening to us at
Hey.
this time, if you can relate, I would like you to go to our Facebook page and drop your comments. However, that's not the topic for today. So quickly, I'd like us to talk about something that is really disturbing, right? It's not related to a case of domestic violence. No, it's not related to a case of abuse. I don't even know where we are going to classify this. However, we'll be focusing on the children, the girl child in particular. And while we're trying to focus on the girl child or the children, the mothers are also involved
Exactly.
somehow, because when you talk about work-life balance, it affects the women the most. Why? They are mostly entitled to taking care of the children in the home. Most of the time you find out that a man has a contract maybe outside that
On a
state.
trade.
Yes, he goes interstate, and it is now left for the woman to make sure that the kids are well taken care of. So what we want to talk about today is something that concerns everybody, whether you have a kid or not. Sometime in the future, you would most definitely have a kid, or you might have nephews and nieces around you, and I know you wouldn't want anything to happen to them. So let's go take a listen to this audio clip. It will give you a clearer picture of what we want to talk about today, and when we come back, we will kick off with the conversation. Please don't go anywhere. It will give you to this.
Do we trust? Who do we and our children to who we entrust with the responsibility of taking care of our children at times. We have a case of a 3-year-old child who an Okada rider was contracted to be picking the child from home to school and from school back to home. He did this job for about 3 weeks before
who masterminded the kidnap. They reported while they were at the police station, he also called, threatening them that if they go to the police, they will kill the child. Eventually, a ransom of 500,000 was paid. That was when he allowed the child to go. Trust us, we swung into action, went into technically driven, intelligence-led investigation, and were able to unmask the face of the kidnapper who kidnapped that little child. This happened in Ughelli about 4 weeks ago. What's your name?
My name is Kelvin Ogaga.
Kelvin Ogaga?
Yes.
Ogaga?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, why were you arrested?
I was arrested because of a 3-year-old child which I kidnapped.
You kidnapped the
Okay, our sincere apologies for that mix-up. We actually experienced some form of hitch right here in the studio. We're actually trying to bring you an audio clip of the arrest of a young man somewhere in Ughelli, Delta State. And this young man was contracted by a parent to pick up a child, 3-year-old baby girl from school and bring her home every afternoon, right? And then the information we are getting from the police is that he did this for 3 whole weeks. He was so committed. He wasn't, no room to suspect him, no room for suspicion at all, or suspicion rather. And then the 4th week, somehow, all of a sudden, this girl went to school one day. The bike man was contacted. They've closed. They'll go and pick her up, and that was it. The woman did not see her child from that day up until the police was informed. Investigations, actually went on, and the young man was caught. Now, he masterminded the abduction of a 3-year-old girl. He didn't stop there. Yes. And then when they were interviewing him, he said that he was influenced by his friend, whom he told that he had gotten a contract of picking up the young girl, every day. And then the friend said, now what for you? This one a big business opportunity. Why don't you use the opportunity to kidnap that girl? And that was how the idea was planted in his head. He kidnapped this girl, switched off his own phone, and used another phone number to contact the mother of the girl that he was calling from a kidnapper's den, and that they should send the sum of whether it's 1.5, I can't remember the amount of money, 1.5 million naira before they will release the girl. We're talking about a 3-year-old child. And then after going back and forth, the mother was able to raise 500,000 naira, and then they were able to secure the release of the girl. However, the police were already tracking the young man. He was arrested and confessed that he was actually the mastermind behind the whole kidnap. And it calls for concern because this is not the first time we'll get to hear issues like this. I remember sometime in, was it February or April last year? I can't remember the exact month. In Abia, something similar happened where a keke driver took home all the siblings, 3 or 4 children belonging to the same parents, yes, and disappeared into thin air. Okay, Clara, reactions.
Why no me mebichala ke ema wozi onye na asoke ke gba ya trust. Owuru mbu ezinụlọ jawo taa sị oke onye ọgba tuntum mkpakpọgawara m mama ụlọ akwụkwọ eru time dị ụta ma awa dị ụta ke kwalatara m. Ha ga na-eme ya n'aka nkwụmọtọ na-enweghị nrụrụ aka nọ n'ime ma ọkwa ihe a ga-abịa nyowe ị ga-abịa mewe abịa nyowe ga-enyochi onye a mana ka ugbu a ị ga-anụ na nne na nna pụrụ onye dị ụtọ ma onye ọgbatumtum o ma onye ụgbọala o ma m ghọtara gaa kpọtawara m ụmụ m kpọgawara m ha ụlọ akwụkwọ kpọlatawara m ha tụsị na-ama ihe na-emenụ piom akọwala akụkọ mma Ngozi kọwa akọrọgbago akọrọgbatuo o kwesịkwara n'ịdị otu ahụ oke lee n'onye ugbu a ile anya ya bụ nwata nwoke na-arụ ọrụ a izu ụka atọ ọ rụrụ ya n'aka nkwụmọtọ enwekwanụ o ji obi ya na-arụ ya mana ọzi na oyi ya abịala bịa kpeela ya ụka sị dekwa ihe ndị ọzọ tụga etuge enyefe gị ya ngwanụ werezi ohere a mee ihe dị otu a ya ga-akwe ọrụ na okwe hụ mama ịghọtasị mba hapụ ọrụ ahụ nwetara ka m rụma ụtọ ịma ma nwere ike Chineke mee ebere ezinụlọ Chineke si n'aka ezinụlọ bulie ya elu ma onye nweta ọrụ ndị ọzọ ma ihe agazi mere ya karịa ka ọ na-agazi ya mana ọ gala ga-ewe ajọ oyi ntị nke lekwa ugbu a akwa ya ka a kpọrọ gawa mana ọ ga na-awụ na ndị nne na nna biko kema amaghozidedum onye a na maka na onye a na-asị onye ya kwagawara nwa ya skuul kwalata ya nwere ike onweghị efe amamighọta ọ ga na-egbubata onwe ya 200
Okay, so in line with what Clara said, I agree with you 100%. And like I said, bulk of the work of school run falls mostly on the women. I'm talking out of experience because most of the time the men are quite busy. You know, it's either they have a contract outside where they live or their job might not be the one that would require them waking up early, taking these children to school, bringing them back. So majority of the bulk of the work when it has to do with school run usually falls on the women. And that's why we are talking about this. You find out that more working mothers now rely on bike men, keke riders, bus drivers, even neighbors, friends, lesson teachers. They rely on these people to pick up their children. However, we are asking, how well do you know them?
Okay.
That's a $1 million question we're asking this morning. How well do you know those people? And it's an eye-opener to everyone. There's nobody listening to us at this time that has children that at some point hasn't said, oh, please help me, or help me go and bring my children back. So it calls for caution. And while we are also talking about the experience of this woman, we are learning in the process. Exactly. How well do you trust your bike man, your keke rider, your neighbor, the lesson teacher, the school teacher? Do you even know them up till their houses? What measures do you put in place before you give them that contract? Do they have a guarantor's form? Do they have a surety? What measures? Or you just see someone and because you like him, because he seems more like someone who's trusted, who's got the one that even pays me the most, they'll tell you, he looks religious. He looks like he's a strong Christian, you know? Yes, he's my church member. And then you, because of all of those things, you give him the contract without digging deep. I know that most times people can be, actually, they have good character, right? They have a good pattern of doing things. However, they could be easily influenced. That's the human mind. Yes. So what measures have you put in place? And then if you have people who pick up your child, especially to the women, we want to hear more from the women this afternoon. How do you actually make sure and ensure that your children are always in safe hands? It's very important we talk about these things so that other people can learn. Yes. And then, are there red flags that people can look out for, especially the mothers, so that their children do not fall into the hands of the wrong people? Okay, let's open up the phone lines right now for people to call in and react.
20,022 0911 20,022 mabakwan 0707 454 1014 0707 454 1014.
Okay, let's squeeze in this one.
Ibolachi,
good morning.
You're welcome. Good morning to you.
Hello, this is David Besider. I'm calling from Ohi.
Elder.
West local government.
Okay. Go ahead.
Because this in our story is very, very important. Because so many have been suffered on this. even could you imagine that a family will invite all these outside people who enter by.
Are you there?
Kanoe?
All right, try to change your position and call us back. We are live on Facebook this morning at Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. Try as much as you can to go there, drop your comments. I'll be here to read it out as well. And also send in your messages to WhatsApp. Yes, we'll try as much as we can to read all the messages before we round off this morning. And somehow I understand that network is very poor and has been acting up since morning. Who picks up your children from school currently? That's one question. And did you run any background checks on those people or on that person? And then what's that rule that parents, especially mothers, should adopt to make sure that their children are safe? Now, you know that these abductors usually exploit trust. They exploit routine. The moment they know that you're a very busy person, you're a workaholic, they might want to take advantage and make some money off you. Hello?
Ibolachi.
Hello, good morning.
Ụtụtụ ọma.
Yes, Clara and the Slim Diva.
Hello to you. We're doing great. What's your name, please?
Yes. Okay, this is George. I come from Ondi this morning.
Go ahead, George.
Yes, please, the topic you're presenting this morning is like I informed you to come this topic. This is the experience I had like 2 days ago. And
Can you move around a little, please? Your line is actually not good.
I hear it now.
Go ahead.
Putu, where?
I was saying that it's like I asked you to come about this topic today. Because this is what the experience I had yesterday and the day before yesterday. You know what happened? I have this.
You see?
Oh, no. Oh my, this is not fair enough. Okay, George, change your position, okay, and call us back. Thank you.
Ebola Clara.
Ibolachi Mukoma.
Good morning. Hello, good morning to you. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Ahmad calls from Uche Street. You know where?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Slim Diva and Clara, the bottom line there is that no matter how trustful and gullible you are, do not have 100% trust in anybody, no matter your relationship with the person. That is the key word there. So that's all I have to say. I'm from Uche Street. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We all know what we are battling in, with the economy right now. People are struggling to survive. And then you have a situation whereby the man is working, the woman is also working, trying to make ends meet. So saying that we shouldn't trust people 100%. Yes, I understand. However, what measures can be put in place? That's the question. Yes, because the reality is, to tell you the truth, for most women who have a working pattern, some of them work for people. And then they resume maybe as early as 8 a.m. and they close up as late as maybe 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. What can they do to make sure that it is balanced and they have enough time to, take these children to school and bring them back? Because I know of some employers that will not even allow the woman go for school run. Yes, I know of some employers. It's against their policy for the woman to leave. So let's talk about this things. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
Are you hearing me very well?
Yes, it's better.
This is Sunday one calling from Niger.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this very situation is a very big concern. I'm a driver by profession, and I retired almost 47 years ago. All this trust, I'm not working again. No trust. During our own time, all school bus kind of gave home Makai. Hagacha, Halota, safely. No, I can do Monday Keke bus. And I cause Akuka, no one trust to read. If my mother never be on Papa, I see a boss or Guru or Tishi. a na-ekwuzi okwu asị na ahụkwa nwatakịrị. Like as I'm now, enwe ụmụaka chọrọ ịkpọta ka mụ na ha nọ. I told them mụ na aga m anọli. Let me stay alone. Because ụmụaka school nwere ike ịgawa school now. Before you know what is happening, I think you kidnap all. I said, "I'm not used to But you know all these things. I don't know how to start. Oh my God! I'm not what I can now. Then on school. I got the media because of what I'm seeing mainly in this Owerri. I am a baile. I become not Chineke. Onye mango zog is a area and say. You combine either a closed place. Mother go over. Now I got a young man at school. Good school. Oh, yeah, but I show for because I know my can at a very close range. Then this is a guy name. Oh, my kabata. Let's leave the hamata. But can you give me?
Okay. Thank you so much. And talking about putting your children in a school that is close to maybe where you work or where you live. Yes, but Clara, let's be realistic, okay? For us in the urban areas, this can be possible in the villages. In the urban areas, for instance, I know of some people who live in their village and they work in Owerri. Yes.
So who can Kafanchan?
And if that's the only option that they have, what can they do? Some employers have the no child policy in their workplace.
Always you.
Okay? Yeah. So the school, most of the schools close, let's say for primary, nursery, 2 p.m. 3 p.m. And then you are working in a place where you should be ordinarily closing around 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. How would you do this? How would you combine it? Ịpụta ọrụ 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
That's my point. Thank you. No, we are being realistic. No, we are being realistic. You understand? And then some schools have also put up a policy that the moment it's 4 p.m., anything after 4 p.m., you would have to pay the late fee. I don't know what they call it. There's an amount of money they charge. Yes. Because it's also important that you put those children into consideration and pick them up at least before 4 p.m. Except if they are going to have, what do they call it, extramural classes. Yes. Okay, that's a different thing.
Hello, my sisters in the studio.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you all.
You're welcome.
This is Dr. John calling from Okwakoma.
Dr. John, it's been a while. How have you been?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Very well. Go ahead, please.
It's okay. I hope I'll be permitted to talk about the soup issue. I overheard you mention something.
Go ahead.
Yes. And please, let me find a way to connect it with your topic of last week. It has a connection. Yes, it has to do with the role of the man and the woman.
Okay.
You remember last week you talked about whether the woman should pay the house rent.
Dr. John. Okay.
Today, what you are saying is whether the man has a modicum of right to go into the pot of soup of the woman. It's just about rules. And I remember last week I tried calling, you weren't picking.
Oh, sorry about that.
The reason why I wanted to call was because I found something lacking in all the calls that were made and contributions.
You mean for last week?
Yes.
Quickly.
And even today.
Okay.
The same topic. Yes. It has to do with the role in marriage. First of all, I had wanted to point out that the ideas of marriage is not in the will of men to detect. The one who made marriage has told us the ideas we must follow. When a man and a wife are married, they are one in every respect. And that is why when a man and a woman gets together, very soon you start seeing them resembling each other when they were never before. They are just one. Whether in finance, in the roles they are performing, they are the same.
when God has made the man the lead of the house, that is not his makeup. It's just the role he's performing. And when he has made the woman the helpmate to the man, it's not her makeup. It's just a role she has to perform. And in between the two, if they have love and understanding, you see that you cannot even differentiate. The man's money and the woman's money is their money. It's very wrong for the man to say, this is my money, or the woman will say, this is my money and this is my property. They all own the same thing at the same time. Except the marriage collapses, they remain, they own the same thing. So there is no there's no rule that is just tight fixed there. No rule. The only difference there is that when the man is leading, it is his role to make sure that he's ahead in taking innovations and initiating moves. The buck stops at his table does not mean he has to superintend over it as if he's Lord.
Try to summarize, Dr. John, please.
In summary, what I'm trying to say is this. Whatever role there is to play, whether it comes from the woman or from the man, they are all one. And not if it is the woman's responsibility at that time and has the money to perform the role, he should perform. Coming to this issue,
for today,
there's nothing wrong if the man gets to the soup pot and dish. Me, for example, what I do is that I am careful. In fact, most often when I get to my wife pot, I end up cheating myself. Because if out of maybe 2 lumps of meat that is there, I may end up not taking any. You have to respect her. Yes.
It's okay.
And when she says, you didn't take this much, I said, no problem. I just...
You are a good man. Dr. John, you are very good.
And to continue to have confidence in me, going back to that pot of soup anytime I want to go there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. He just wanted to drop his own opinion on the topic we talked about last week, and he also added his voice to the trending story we touched on briefly before we unleashed or unveiled the topic for today. Thank you so much, Dr. John. But let's not forget, don't get it twisted. The program is She Matters right here on Echo FM 100.7, and we are talking about the issue that happened in Ughelli, Delta State, where a 3-year-old girl was abducted by her bike man. Now, according to the mother of this child, he was contracted to pick her up from school every day, Monday to Friday. He had done that responsibility. He engaged in that responsibility for 3 whole weeks. And he was very responsible. He was committed. No room to suspect him. However, on the 4th week, all of a sudden one day, the girl wasn't brought back home. She didn't show up. They kept on trying his number. His number was switched off. The mother did everything she could. She couldn't reach them, only for them to get a call from a strange number saying that she had been kidnapped and they should pay the sum of 1.5 million naira. Well, to cut the long story short, she ended up paying 500,000 naira, but before then she had reported to the police and they started tracking that young man, and thankfully he was apprehended, and lo and behold, it was the same bike man she had contracted. And then we are asking the question this morning, who can we trust? How can these children, not just the girl children now, how can these children who are vulnerable be well protected? What measures can the women put in place? Because when it comes to school run, bulk of the work falls on the women, especially the working class women. You cannot say a woman shouldn't work in this time and age. Except you're going to pay her off, or maybe make sure that you attend to her needs, because somehow she also has her family members. She has siblings to take care of. She might not come to you all the time to say, give me money, I want to buy wrapper. Give me money, I want to buy undies. No. She has to work for herself. So what can we do? Because it's a disturbing trend. This is not the first time we'll get to hear about this, but it's now reoccurring. What can the women do? Keep your calls coming in. Okay, and we lost this one. 0911 20,022 or 0707 454 1014.
Ebolachi.
Good morning, Auntie Clara. Auntie Mary, it's Princess.
Oh, Princess baby.
I am back, Auntie Mary. Seriously, I'm back.
Welcome.
I came in yesterday.
You're welcome back. And how was your trip?
It was nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Good to have you back. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Mafti, good morning.
Yes, he can
Okay, let me go straight to the point. Yes, I don't have kids. I'm not married yet. I will use the experience of my senior ones, my siblings. Like now, the security now is not stable. You don't trust anyone. Not even your relation. You don't trust. If the relations also kidnap, they also plot evils this time around. Not even strangers again. So this is how my senior ones do their runs, their school runs of their kids. They do it like they have their own personal business, and the husband has his own business of a thing. My sister takes the children to the school during the morning hours. Then they have the closing hours time. The husband creates the time to go pick them up. That is how they do their own school runs.
Okay.
They don't leave it in the hands of anyone again because of the way things are going around now. So that's my own contribution.
Princess, take it easy, okay? Thank you. But I just want to ask you a question, right? I know you're not married, but someday you'd have kids. Hold on. Now, for instance, let's assume that your sister's husband is outside the country and she's all alone. You are living in Lagos. She is in Owerri. Maybe you happen to be the only sibling that she has in this world. So what measures do you think she can put in place? I don't know if you understand. That's where the confusion comes in.
Yes. If, for instance, the way you fix the question for me, if I'm available at that moment, do you understand me? I could do the trust. At least in a family, you should have someone you trust 100%. Do you understand my point? You can't say in the whole general family you don't trust anyone like 100%. And if that person is closer to you, that person should help you at that moment of the day to do the school runs for you. Do you understand my point?
I get you. It's your opinion.
And
Thank you.
The soup aspect. I think Auntie Clara talked about, Auntie Pressy talked about it yesterday, which I called in.
Okay.
Men, at least, I won't say, if I'm married, my husband will not go to my pot. There should be, even if I'm not available, I should have a particular flask. I should put his meal. When he comes in, he picks it up from there. And if I'm available, maybe I'm stressful, maybe I had a stressful day in the hospital stuff when I'm back. And if he comes in and said, my love, I need food, and I know that I'm really tired, Auntie Mary, I would manage myself to stand up. It will take me like 5 minutes to dish his meal and serve it for him and have my rest continue.
It's okay, Princess. It's okay.
All right,
Thank
take care and have a nice day. Bye.
And you too. And Maf King is here, nodding his head and protesting visibly and saying that is not going to work out. A lot of men are also there protesting. But I don't want us to deviate from the main topic, okay? You see, this thing is going to be a topic for another day. Whether men are allowed to go to the pot or not, we go talk on one day. Okay. All right, let's squeeze in more calls.
Hello, Ibolachi.
Hello, handsome.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
From Namdi that call from Redeemable.
Go ahead.
Bible says two cannot work unless they agree together. And whenever we see that we have challenges or we hear rumors, things happening around us, it's the duty of the husband and wife to sit down. How well do we know this bus driver that we always give our children? How do we know this bike person? You sit him down. Because if you tell me that because of Bible said there must be occurrence events, just like what happened in Oyo, their children, they were in the school. But devil come in, they will not even be going to your now know your watch your son. Even when your children is in the bedroom, when devil wake up, he will come there even when you think they are safe and do something you will not believe. But whatever that happens in data is a wake-up call to parents. You need to know an academic man or a boss man you are giving your children. You need to get his data. When you hear a story like this, you sit him down and say, this thing that happened, I hope you don't have it intentionally. I hope you cannot do such things. And in family, when we look at the man may be working, the woman may be working, you will not go off just as you people are saying because of the economy. The next thing, you have another plan and schedule. Sometimes we know that leaders in offices can be heartless or have rules that someone cannot break. But when you look at the job, it couldn't suit your children is more important to the job. You can change. If it is a private one, you resign. But if it is not private, it's a government that you know you cannot resign. Sit up, whoever that take care of the children going and coming. Go to the school, complain, tell them the laws you bring to guide the children. Tell the person that carry them along, the law you bring that you make sure that whatever that happened to these children, you give accountable. Know his relative and where he come from. I believe with God, you can help in doing so. Remember, you say, so even though when we do our best, when devil come in, we want to go come in, when God want to save, he said. But I saw this as a wake-up call to parents and those that give their children without caring. Make sure you know who you are handling your children to, and always be active enough to know his whereabouts. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Namdi. We appreciate you as always. Chimezia on WhatsApp says, good morning to you, Clara and the Slim Diva. You guys, your program is one of a kind and I'm listening. Keep it up. Thank you. Chimezia, we see you. And on Facebook, oh Lord, we have some messages on Facebook. I'll try as much as I can. Yes. This one says, good morning, the golden ladies of Echo FM. This is coming from Concise. Thank you so much. Gift Ejim Konye says, good morning. We greet you right back. Hawa Holding says, good morning, house. Have a nice day. Thank you so much, Hawa Holdings. And more messages are trickling in. Red flags that the women shouldn't miss. No background check on the rider. I have talked about this. No guarantor. No verifiable address. And you put in the hands of a stranger, a total stranger. And then second red flag, all of a sudden this bike man or bus driver or whoever has started picking up your kids. And then you notice that when it's time, when they come back, you notice that this child is visibly quiet around him or her. And you're wondering what's going on. You're not as jovial or as happy as you used to be. Something is going on. And then some riders are in the habit of changing the routes. For instance, if you're living along Wedral, and you know that they have to take, where will I use as an example now? They must get to Rockview roundabout. What do they call that roundabout? Okigwe roundabout or Government House roundabout to get to where you live along Wedral. All of a sudden, he leaves that place, passes through MCC, passes through, what is the name of that junction? Help me. Oh, God. And gets to Wedral Junction. Before he now comes to your house, something is wrong. In changing the routes and in changing the usual routine, he might be planning on how to delay and also take the child somewhere. Yes. Thank you. So there are a lot of practical safety steps. According to research, from what I can see, try to document. Very important. And this is one aspect I feel that most Nigerians do not pay attention to. You see an employer, you want to employ someone, for instance. You don't even care if the person has a family member. You don't care about the address. You don't care where the person lives. That's why all of a sudden the person can wake up one day and take your money and run. Yes, or take your property. No matter the job, be it a sales boy, sales girl, bike man, bike woman, or rider, they should bring a guarantor. They should bring a shorty. They should tell you where they live. If possible, know the landlord or landlady of where they live. That's if they are living in a rented apartment. So that if anything happens, trust me, when you try to trace the guarantors or whoever it is, they would in turn try to trace the family members of that particular person. But this is one thing that a lot of people do not do. Do you even have the picture of your bike man or your bus driver? Do you have their pictures? No. We are in the time of, in the age of social media, right? Where people usually upload pictures. But let me shock you that most people are not on Facebook. So do you have their pictures? If something happens, how can the police help you find them? How can they trace them? You could have 2 or 3 people bearing the same name. So in most cases, the name might not help much. But if you have a picture, it will go a long way. If possible, let them submit their picture. Let them submit their NIN, house address. Yes. Thank you. And then I know that most schools have a strict pickup policy. There are some schools that before the moment you register your child in that school, you must let them know. Thank you. Apart from you, as the mother or the father or the aunt, who else will be coming up to pick up this child in case there's an emergency? And then you have to hand over all the necessary details and teach your children not to go with strangers. Children, you see children from under 5, they are very vulnerable. Anything you tell them, they believe you. So there are a lot of things. I don't even know what else to say, but these are some measures I feel that mothers in particular can put in place. Okay, and we lost that one.
Hello, Ibolachi.
Yeah, Ibolachi Clara. Okama.
Hey, Okama.
Ndewo once more. The Slim Diva.
Yes, please,
Still
go ahead.
I called back.
Okay, go ahead quickly.
Yes, like you said about measures. I know you called Dr. John a good man because he usually shall change himself. That's why he's good. He's a good man. Now, measures to take. Like you pointed out, responsible, not just any grant, responsible grantors. Are you getting me?
Yes, we can hear
must
you.
make provision for responsible grantors.
Okay.
Adequate and proper documentation, as you said, with the person's photograph. Are you getting me? The person must have known and verifiable address.
Okay.
Is that in order?
Yes, it's in order.
Yeah, with all these things, I think, like I still maintain, even with all these things, I still maintain that no matter how trustful you are, don't have 100% trust in anybody.
Okay.
Like there is an adage that says, we usually say in Igbo, that when a monkey or whatever, white monkey said you should not trust, he doesn't trust any person, even his own kids, even the one he's carrying on her back, unless the one in his womb. Do you get that age?
Yes.
That's the best way I can put it.
Okay.
But Clara will understand more. So that is the truth. Amma from Uche Street. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amma. And he's suggesting you don't just get ordinary guarantors, responsible guarantors, people who would, be willing to help out if such a case should arise. In other climes, what they do, I don't know, I just wish that such technology will come to Nigeria.
Okay.
Parents, the moment they register their children, they are given a GPS watch. Like a wristwatch. They sell it in those schools. And then when you come to pick up your child, they give you the GPS watch. Anytime the child is coming to school, that child must have that watch on. So that if there's a case of abduction or kidnapping and that child is taken somewhere that they don't know, you can easily track them by using the code on that GPS watch. I don't think we have anything like that here. No, it's a specialized watch that only you might know how to remove. I think maybe it has a code or something and you can't just remove it. Exactly. So, see, technology, we've advanced. I'm giving people business ideas now. Every time, I don't know what to do. I'm a tech expert. But you are using it to press. Go and do GPS watch. Yes. And make some money for yourself. Sell to schools and you make a lot of money.
Business idea. And the
last call for today.
Ibolachi.
Okay, the phone lines are really God. Okay, let's try this one.
Ibolachi.
Hello, good morning.
Otutoma.
They were Wada, Clara, and Mary.
You're welcome. What's your name, please?
My name is Chinedu. I'm calling from Ubomiri.
Okay, Chinedu, please, you have few seconds, okay?
Okay, you see, the work of a mother in a family is very nice and they are doing great. So, but hiring someone to take your children to school is not bad. But you need to investigate someone you are trusting your children to. in the sense that at last you will not cry had I known.
Try. Okay.
So that's my contribution.
All right. Thank you so much. Clara, we are almost out of time and we have to go.
Ịma Igbo na-ege ntị onye ekwutechala ya ndị na-ekpọbatara nọ na-agbalịala nke unu tonyere ọ gbakwara ọkpụrụkpụ ịma Mary otu a ijikwara kwupụtakwa ya na gị nyocha kpụta onye ga-emere ya shọtị ikwe ya onye ga-eme NIN ya sef ya wetacha ụmụ ihe ndị a amasị ọ dị ahụ mgbe ị mechara mmadụ ya adịcha 100% perfect mana metụgodo ihe ndị a iji nye aka adịghị ama gị makwa n'ebe ishi imi na ala afeefefe achọ ya agaji at least ọ ga-gị nyetụrụ gị aka to an extent amaghị ghọtara biko ka anyị gbado anya ụwa ke ọ ghasara aghasa biko Amanda na mmadụ ka na-ayakwa n'ihe.
A lot is going on. Thank you, Clara. And the last message we have on WhatsApp says some riders molest children. I have seen victims.
No.
Parents should be extremely careful on whom they engage. Well done, Echo FM ladies, and nice job. You didn't add your name. She has brought another angle to the conversation that some of these riders that you engage to pick up your children, most of the time, molest these children on their way back to school, on their way back home. You might not even know. So it goes beyond even getting a guarantor, even doing this, like personal life of that person, which unfortunately is not written on the forehead. You might see someone that is church-like, that is religious, but go and look deep. You would run. You know? So the last person who sent in this message is also saying it even goes beyond getting responsible guarantors, getting all of the documentations right. You also have to look into the life of that person. People cannot be trusted fully 100%. And then to women who work, these are just suggestions. We can't tell you how to live your lives, right? But there must be a way around it. If you have a family member who also works, maybe you can plan and say, okay, every 3 days or every 2 days, I will do the school run. Then you take over maybe the next 2 days or the next 3 days. You try to split the work of the school run. And then even if you're working in a place where the employer or the policy of the company says you are not allowed to go for school run, all you can do is you have to find a way around it. That's the truth. You either have to choose between your job or your children. And then secondly, there's this what do they call it now, colleague of yours that you are always very close to. Why not talk to that colleague? Okay, you know what? Can I inform the management that from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. I'll be away while you cover up for me? There are some people that can help out. They will want to help you because they know that at that point you might not have any other choice. And then they cover up for you. So let's say you close 5 p.m. You can have an agreement with your colleague and say, please, cover up for me from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. so that I can run the errand or run to the school to pick up the children and take them back home. It's usually not easy. People who have small children know what I'm talking about. It might be sounding somehow to people who already have adults as children. You might not. Yes, I know you passed through that phase. There are some people that have not gotten to that stage. They might not understand. If you don't wear that shoe, you will not know where it pinches. So please, let us be very careful, especially the mothers. Thank you so much. I believe we have passed on the message this morning. And to employers, please consider the women who have children. I beg you. We have to go. Any other thing? All right, Clara. Thank you. My name is Mary Omeniwo. They call me the Slim Diva. You're most adorable. Thank you, DJ Muff King. Up next is the news at 12. Don't go anywhere.
Echo FM 100.
Good afternoon. The 10th day of July 2026. This is the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7 ORA. We are the station with fair and balanced reporting. My name is Mary Omeni Wode, bringing you the latest news and breaking stories around the world this afternoon. Here are the headlines. Tinubu unveils grassroots movement, defends economic reforms. Enugu State Forest Guard issues standing operational order. NIS scraps third-party visa service. On the foreign scene, North Korea vows to expand nuclear arsenal and boost military intelligence. And still on the foreign scene, Iran buries Ayatollah Ali Khamenei as oil prices fall despite fresh strikes. And on sports news, Morocco's coach Ouhabi vows team will come back stronger after World Cup exit. Details shortly. And as usual, we begin with national stories that says President Bola Tinubu has pledged not to betray the trust Nigerians placed in him, maintaining that his administration's economic reforms are designed to build a stronger and more prosperous future for the country. President Tinubu, speaking through Senate President Godswill Akpabio, stated that the grassroots mobilization initiative would help promote renewed hope agenda nationwide. The announcement, alongside other key reforms such as the unification of the foreign exchange market, led to a significant increase in fuel prices, higher transportation costs, and a rise in the cost of goods and services nationwide. Akpabio noted that Tinubu's reforms had improved Nigeria's economy, noting that monthly allocations to the three tiers of government had risen from less than 700 billion naira to over 2 trillion naira. Speaking before political leaders, traditional rulers, civil society groups, and other stakeholders, the president stressed that his administration remained committed to strengthening the country despite the tough policy decisions taken since he assumed office. And back to the southeast, the Enugu State Forest Guard has issued a new order introducing comprehensive standards governing the dress code, operational turnout, accoutrement, corporate identity, discipline, and professional appearance of all officers and operatives of the Corps. The commander of the Enugu State Forest Guard, Dr. Akimbayo Olasoji, stated that the reforms are fully aligned with the vision of the governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Ndubisimba, to build a disciplined, intelligence-driven, technologically enabled, and highly professional security architecture capable of safeguarding lives, property, forest, and other critical assets across the state. In a statement issued by JAS, strengthening discipline, reinforcing command and control, enhancing operational professionalism, and projecting a distinctive corporate identity for the Corps. In another development, President Bola Tinubu has declined assent to two bills passed by the National Assembly, citing constitutional concerns and defects that require correction before the proposed legislation can become law. The Senate was notified of the president's decision through two separate letters read on the floor of the chamber by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The affected bills are the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Amendment Bill of 2026 and the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigerian Bill. In both letters, Tinubu stated that he was withholding assent in line with Section 58, subsection 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which empowers the President to decline assent to bills and return them to the National Assembly with observations for reconsideration. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has called on the federal government to impose strong diplomatic measures against South Africa over renewed xenophobic attacks extrajudicial killings and the alleged systematic persecution of Nigerians and other African nationals residing in the country. This comes as the 282 Nigerians arrived at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, from South Africa in the 4th evacuation flight. According to a statement by the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abuja, Kimiebi Ebienfa, 282 Nigerians, including 12 infants, arrived in Nigeria. The House resolution for strong diplomatic measures followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by the member representing Kanke, Kanam, Pangshi Federal Constituency of Plateau State, Yusuf Gadi. The motion received unanimous support during plenary presided over by the Deputy Speaker, Benjamin Kalu. It's exactly 8 minutes past noon. If you just tune in, you are listening to the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. Here's a recap of the headlines. Tinubu unveils grassroots movement, defends economic reforms. Enugu State Forest Guards issued standing operational order. NRS scraps third-party visa service. On the foreign scene, North Korea vows to expand nuclear arsenal and boost military intelligence. And still on the foreign scene, Iran buries Ayatollah Ali Khamenei as oil prices fall despite fresh strikes. And on sports news, Morocco coach Ohabi vows team will come back stronger after World Cup exit. Details after this break, please stay tuned.
This is a public service announcement in an effort. Promptly reporting any road crashes. Together, we can work towards reducing the rate of road crash fatalities and creating safer roads for everyone. This message is brought to you by Echo FM 100.7 in partnership with the Federal Road Safety Corps, Imo Sector Command, as part of our corporate social responsibility. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for your company. 11 minutes gone past noon this afternoon. You are still listening to the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7. And now, business news. The Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, has disengaged its third-party visa application service provider in the United States, directing all travelers seeking Nigerian visas to now submit applications directly at the country's embassy and consulates. The service, in a statement by its public relations officer, Akinshola Akinlabi, stated that the decision takes effect immediately. Until now, Online Integrated Solutions OIS services operated Nigeria's visa application and submission centers across the United States. Akinlambi, however, did not state reasons for the disengagement. The NIS spokesman assured that the embassy and consulates have put adequate measures in place to ensure seamless submission, processing, and issuance of visas. He therefore urged applicants to monitor the official communication channels of the NIS and the Nigerian mission in the U.S. for further updates on visa application procedures. Over now to the foreign scene, where North Korea will strengthen its nuclear force both in quality and quantity and expand the role of its military intelligence agency focused on South Korea. Pyongyang, who is under widespread sanctions over its nuclear program, and the two Koreas remain technically at war as their 1950 to 1953 conflict ended without a peace treaty. The issues were discussed during an enlarged meeting of the ruling party's Central Military Commission. It also called for broad expansion of the functions and missions of the General Reconnaissance and Intelligence Bureau. And still on the foreign scene, reports say the fragile ceasefire between the United States and Iran further escalated as fresh missile and drone strikes were exchanged between both nations, raising fears of a renewed regional conflict and its impact on the global oil market. Meanwhile, Iran buried its supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in a funeral attended by thousands of mourners. The latest hostilities marked a sharp setback for diplomatic efforts to end the war, with both sides accusing each other of violating the truce shortly after it came into effect. The American military stated that it hit around 90 targets in airstrikes across Iran after President Donald Trump said he considered the 10-year ceasefire between the two countries over following Iranian attacks on shippings in the Strait of Hormuz. And lastly, on sports news, Morocco coach Mohamed Ouhabi has promised that his team will bounce back from their World Cup quarter-final exit against France on Thursday and keep building as they prepare to co-host the next tournament in 2030. The Atlas Lion was hoping to at least match their historic run to the semi-finals in Qatar in 2022. But once again, their World Cup hopes was ended by the Les Blues. The 2-0 defeat at the Gillette Stadium near Boston was a repeat of the scoreline when their sides met in the semi-final 4 years ago. And Morocco must now turn their attention towards future challenges after a draining last 7 months. Ouhabi was appointed in March to succeed Walid, who departed following the team's run to the Africa Cup of Nations final on home soil at the beginning of the year. Morocco were favorites to win that competition but lost 1-0 after extra time in a chaotic final against Senegal, marked by a walk-off protest by their opponents in response to a penalty given to the hosts. And that's all for the Global News at noon this afternoon, as was brought to you directly from our news desk. For more information and inquiries, please visit our social media platforms on Facebook at Echo FM and Echo FM 100.7.